Hello and welcome to this session of Entrepreneurship Essentials. Our today's topic is value proposition. Today we are going to discuss what value proposition is and why value proposition is important, and then how to design value proposition. We will be discussing about some template on value proposition. Before I start, here is a reference of very good wonderful reading material as well as video lectures by successful entrepreneurs. Actually, these were organized at Stanford University for the students of Stanford University, and the people who delivered the lectures are all successful entrepreneurs. They are the who's who of corporate world today. If you have any problem downloading, these are freely downloadable. There is one PDF file that may be 400 plus pages long. I can send them. We have seen in our previous lecture that about 7 out of 10 products flop. All the money that go into producing them, all the resources, talents are all wasted. Majority, if not all, of these products fail because targeted customer do not find them useful. They are not attractive to them. So they are not capable of meeting essential needs of the customer. So what is the solution? The solution is to study the customers well, to define the pain and then profile the customer regarding their needs, aspirations, so that the proposed product can meet them. Profiling the customer would help to identify customer segment as well. Then you have to get product validated at different stages of product development. Proceed only when customer says yes, this is the right direction to develop the product. But one point of caution is that if you are talking to the same customer again and again, chances are very high that the bias of single set of customers will lead to a biased product, which will be suitable for a very small segment of the people. So it is better that you talk to diverse groups of people at different stages or in every stage, so that you have a holistic picture about the entire segment of the customers. Part of solution is fail fast, fail easily, early, and then fail forward, as Maxwell said. So learn from failure, start over, and then start with new experience and new initiative. That is how successful people actually did. In the process, suppose an idea is destined to fail. If it fails at the early stage, you save a lot of money, resource and time. So you can start all over again, and then eventually you become successful with limited investment. Otherwise, money will be all exhausted, energy will be exhausted. So eventually you call it quit. Whereas applying this process, you gradually become successful. Step by step process of developing product with customer validation. Now, value proposition. Value proposition represents the sum total of favorable features of your product or service that customers would perceive as value for their money. Meaning, they will see that your product is superior compared to whatever are available in the marketplace, both in terms of features and cost, meaning price. Your value proposition would give a sufficient reason for customers to prefer your product over that of competitors. Here is a definition. It is a kind of verbose, but I will restrict reading them out. Value proposition is the sum total of benefits, as I said, and these are some representative list of features that customer normally consider while making a purchase decision. So it is very important that we know all of them, or maybe many more of them, to get feedback about customers, to what do they think about whatever we are offering as regards all these features that define competitive advantage of product. Then designing a value proposition. Obviously, from the previous slide and slides actually, value proposition is to be carefully crafted, explaining advantages. You can also include disadvantages, meaning disadvantages that you partly solve, that will make it more realistic, offering over those of competitors, showing reasons why customers should buy your product. Furthermore, all employees, including salespeople as well as operation people, even customer at the counter should be familiar, should be completely clear about value proposition, so that they can convey the value proposition to the customer. In fact, this is very critical, because many a times when people are interacting with customer, they might very well say casually that this is better because of this, forgetting the most valuable element of your value proposition. That is very important. That is deciding factors for customers to make a decision to buy your product. Detailed profiling of customer would help actually understand them better, including economic, social, cultural, intellectual, everything else. So you can plan the features that they may like, and some of the features that you think good but they may not like. Like rich people will like some features, whereas middle class may not like those features, which are more related to esteem rather than usefulness. So it's very important to know their background. Value proposition is at times highly revealing to the founders. Even founders themselves should know what are their the features that they are offering to the customers, what constitute value proposition, so they can compare their products with customers. In fact, importance of value proposition can never be overemphasized. It should be a written document, so that you also do not kind of forget to follow and prepare yourselves on a regular basis to build the product that is going to be a winning product. So keep it in writing. Well, so long I have been insisting, and maybe during all my lectures in the past, insisting that it's always important to find a product market fit. And how do you get a product market fit? Means how do you know that you have a product market fit is by getting feedback from customer, feedback from potential customers, from friends, and from smart people who are successful businessmen perhaps. But then it's very important to know that many people, even customers, not just smart people, even customers may not have the same vision as yours, and they may not be able to look into the future and understand that if this product is available, how they are going to react. Many of the products were developed when customers did not have any idea before the product was in their hand. The moment the product was in their hand, they started thinking that they cannot live without that product. BlackBerry, for example, when it actually emerged into the market, many big people, even Barack Obama once said that I cannot live without my BlackBerry, something like that. Oprah Winfrey also said the same thing. You can Google and you will find them. So it's very important to know that when you have a cutting edge or breakthrough idea that is going to change the world, change the way people are using products or whatever, be careful that there is every possibility that people may not share the same vision, but you have to be very sure that you are pretty sure, you are pretty confident that people actually need them. So you may actually be a contrarian on that part, but with confidence that you know that others do not know what you know. So if that is the case, then there is a winning proposition. Reid Hoffman, who actually delivered lectures in Stanford, the reference that I gave at the beginning, explains how very smart people said to them that they must be nuts when they pitched the idea of LinkedIn to them. They said, we don't see how you are going to scale. This is not going to scale. This is a failed product at the beginning itself, but all of us know LinkedIn is so successful today. The same thing is true about Jack Ma, about even Dropbox. When Jack Ma started Alibaba, most people said, you must be crazy. This is as per his own statement. People said, you do not know what is internet and you think you can run a business on internet, so you must be crazy. But then what Alibaba says, that he could see that future belongs to internet and people will definitely use internet to buy, because that is going to give so much of convenience that even people are not able to visualize. There is no formula. So, therefore, there is no formula that to identify the winning product at the very beginning. But then unless you are starting something as disruptive as LinkedIn or Alibaba or say Dropbox, it's better to treat the beaten path, meaning it's better to follow the rules that are written in the books, like get customer validated, but then at the same time remain concerned that there are the flip side of it. Remain mindful that people may not share the same vision. As Hoffman explains, lucrative startups are often the result of wildly audacious solutions to problems people didn't even realize that they had. When people, whatever smart, are reflecting on your idea, it is difficult, if not impossible, for them to have the same vision as yours, because people are mostly not so serious. They will not look beyond certain horizon. They have some limitation that, okay, let me, even if they are serious, they will be looking up to some distance. Then they will not, means they will not have the capacity to do, because they are not going to put your pain in their brain or the pain that you are trying to solve into their brain, and then they may not empathize or realize the ultimate benefit. So, because of this short-sightedness, whether you talk to customer or very smart people, you may not have the solution. But at the same time, you should also realize, like say for example, Jack Ma, he is not the smartest of people. I am sorry, I am not undermining his business capability. Now he is one of the most successful businessmen on the surface of the earth. I have strong regard, and if I do not have regards, then I am actually nobody. So, when he started Alibaba, why I say that he was not the smartest guy on the surface of the earth, he failed 30 times in job interviews, and then he settled down in a very naive job in a college, third grade college, that is what he says. So, obviously, he was not the smartest guy, but still he started this, he could see this. So, it is not always necessary that you have to be the smartest of all. You should be able to see, you must have the vision that, okay, this is the problem and people actually need a solution for this problem. Now, how to make value proposition canvas. Value proposition, I said, now we are entering into value proposition canvas. There is one particular template that was propounded by Alexander Osterwalder. Today I am going to discuss about that, and that is the template that most people use. So, value proposition should be normally a succinct onliner, that is not the canvas, that is a statement, and at the same time it must convey all the message. So, Osterwalder actually came up with a canvas that that will enable you to do everything that is necessary to make a wonderful value proposition without really forgetting any element of it, because he has delineated with all necessary items in different blocks. Next slide is that part. This is the canvas that normally people use for making value proposition. So, there are different items into this. Look carefully. On my right, extreme right, is there are two components. One is customer segment, and then the other is the product or service that is being offered, that is to be offered by entrepreneur. So, there are two. The circle is the customer, and the square is the product. Now, look at the circle. Extreme right is the jobs that customers want you to get done, to be done. So, there may be umpteen number of jobs. You may target to do only single job perhaps, and then below the person, the head, is the pains. So, they need a job. Why? Because they want to alleviate some of their pains. So, pain jobs actually alleviate the pain. At the upper part is the gains. So, other than solving the pain, if you can offer something better, that is what their expectation, that give me something more. So, that is the gain. On the left, the square, the bottom part is the pain reliever. So, you come up with something that relieve the pain, then far left is the product. So, using the product you relieve the pain. At the top is you give something extra, some premium. So, that is the gain creator. A very easy example would be, suppose you are thinking in terms of say providing some antacid tablet. Normally people gobble up antacid whenever they eat something rich, or they feel that they are not doing well, some kind of problem. So, what they do is they keep antacid tablet. A good percentage of people always carry them. Now, most of them know that antacid tablets are not good. You gobble them up regularly to create problems for yourself. So, what you suppose come up with is, say, using natural herbs, you come up with a new antacid tablet that will not have the side effect. So, what you can, your offering is that you give them a natural product, herb based antacid tablet or whatever, that perhaps has better efficacy, meaning it does better work than available antacid, and then it does not have the side effect. So, you have actually some gain creator over the existing products or competing products. On top of that, you can also create more value by offering something more with the tablet, meaning that may come up with some kind of nutrition or something. Now, so you have a product which is natural, so it has less side effect, and it has better efficacy perhaps. So, it works better, meaning people will not have to consume too many of them, number one. And then how you are going to create gain is, you suppose whatever herbs that you use, perhaps there might be some micronutrient into that, and then in the process you are actually offering them more gain, meaning they are getting nutrient along with the medicine. So, that makes wonderful value proposition. So, that is what the value proposition canvas is. Now, we have another example. This is about taxi aggregator. This is a very nice example, and it is very easy to understand all the elements that are there, because we all feel the pain. So, we can empathize with the target audience, and we can understand or appreciate the gain or the value that the company can bring. So, I took this from Alexander Osterwalder's book, that is the value proposition design. Value proposition design is the title of the book. I have the reference at the bottom. So, we start from the job. Any customer who is looking for a taxi has a job, wants a job to be done, meaning finding a taxi immediately. So, he has what are the jobs? He has to call a taxi, find a taxi, then he has to make payment. He needs a taxi next at the doorstep and then what not. And then he may not know the direction as to how to reach somewhere or the shortest route. So, the taxi driver actually can take him in a roundabout way to make inflate the bill. So, there are many problems that a customer has. So, he is looking for alleviating these pains. And suppose what taxi aggregators do, like Ola, like Uber, what they do is this is wonderful. Actually, this creates a lot of other social value, but social value is not part of the value proposition canvas or value proposition per se. So, what they do is just you telephone, they have an app, you download the app on your mobile, and then you have the solution. So, but just by clicking on the app, they capture your location and immediately they identify a nearest taxi driver who is sitting for giving the job, and with the shortest possible time, without even traveling to the taxi stand, the taxi is in front of you, and this driver is registered with the company. So, you feel safe, and there is no cash transaction involved. You can just swipe your card, or you can have a digital wallet or something. Then you can keep on adding value like taxi on demand or taxi at any time, anywhere. So, you can actually book it, and then you can book it on a prior date before your journey, and then on the date of the journey, right at the dot on the dot, the taxi will be available. So, there is no waiting time either. So, your life is kind of wonderful. So, that is how business model canvas can help you to put things in the right perspective, and you have the entire value depicted before your investors, before your, of course, customers will not see this, but then what customer will see is this. Customer will see a one-liner. Well, this is not the one-liner, we will come to that. So, we will come to that, but before that it must be defined as clearly as possible, so that the advantages become glaringly and doubtlessly visible, requiring no explanation to be done. So, state how your product better solves the problem than competitors. So, here is the Oneliner. This has also been suggested by Osterwalder, but internet is full of Oneliner value proposition. Is usually Oneliner like the red ones may be a blank space. So, you say our dash helps dash who want to dash by so and so and dash complete, and then you fill in the blanks, is you get your value proposition statement. What is that? Our product or service helps you or our customer who want this job to be done by enhancing, by increasing efficacy of your product or whatever your product is doing, and easing the life, something like that. You can also add your competitors into this, which may not always sound very sober. So, you can mention where competitors' products actually are inadequate to solve this problem. Suppose you are thinking in terms of a book, say written for entrepreneurship, because Alexander's book is written for entrepreneurship. I have taken it from there. So, he says our book helps business professionals who want to improve or build a business by avoiding or making stuff nobody wants. You don't want to make stuff that nobody wants, and creating maybe product or service that will become a winner, something like that. So, here is a graphical representation. Our job or our product helps customer segment who want to get jobs done by, say, alleviating pain points and also creating gain creator, unlike the competitors. The same example given again. So, to get a very nice idea about business proposition canvas, I would recommend that you see this video. This lecture has been delivered by Alexander Westerwalder. So, enjoy that. Why an understanding of value proposition is important is no longer necessary to explain, because I have been emphasizing over and over again, but still there is some new context. People are generally infatuated about their own idea, meaning if you are thinking about an idea, it's like your baby and you cannot see its limitation. You can only see how earth-shattering, groundbreaking your idea is, and you think that this is going to be a sure shot winner. So, you focus on the inventive step, on the intellectual depth, on the novelty, on what not. But you frequently remain blind about the unique requirement of the customers. So, and as well as the cost aspect. Normally, we first generation entrepreneur, particularly those who have not worked in an industry, we are kind of drawn away from the cost aspect. So, they end up investing valuable time, resources, talent, and eventually to develop a product that customers do not buy. So, a clear understanding therefore is highly necessary. This is also necessary to understand that your value proposition should not, if not must not, contain some of the things that customers are not bothered about, but otherwise they are very highly valuable statement. Suppose you say that your product will lead to employment generation, and you talk to a customer. The customer will say, so what? I have to pay 100 rupees to buy a competing product, whereas I have to pay 200 rupees to buy your product. Why should I pay that? Unless there is other reasons. Why should I be bothered about generating employment for other people? So, likewise there may be many statements where customers are not, they do not have any reason to follow any of these items, like say environmental, say green revolution, or say it is friendly, environment friendly. So, these are some of the things that people like. Suppose there is a made in China good and a made in India good. You say that this is made in India, you buy this, but if made in China good is superior in any respect or they are cheaper, chances are very high that even you will buy them. So, you cannot really include those points which are emotional. So, you should include only those that pinches the customer and you are alleviating those pain. And there are free slides here also at slide shares. So, you can see this for supplementing your knowledge. To conclude, to get a winner's perspective on writing a value proposition is very difficult, is a pressing challenge. So, do not be in a hurry, step back, sort through, think creatively, reflect, repeatedly try to reinvent and refine your value proposition from different perspectives. Make tomorrow better than today. Learn to win and win big. Thank you.